I need to compose myself. Hi everyone, welcome. My name is Jessica and today I will be taking you through a Sacral Chakra yoga flow. The Sacral Chakra is located near the pelvis area and the color associated with it is orange. The purpose of the Sacral Chakra is movement, connection, fluidity, sensuality, and creativity. So for today's practice, we will be focusing a lot on the hip area as well as finding some fluid movements. This practice is an all levels yoga class and no props are required. We are going to begin today in Supta Baddha Konasana, reclined butterfly pose. So coming down onto your back, bringing soles of your feet together, knees apart. If this is too much for your hips, you can place blocks, blankets, or pillows underneath your knees to support them. When you find your way here, bring your hands to rest on your hip bones in your pelvis area, starting to bring awareness to the sacral chakra. Some affirmations we can pair with this practice in support of it are: I am energized with movement and creativity flows within me. I am energized with movement and creativity flows within me. Start to deepen your breath, breathing in through your nose, into your belly, exhaling through your nose. Use your hands to help guide your knees back up, drawing your knees in towards your chest, giving yourself a big hug, maybe rocking side to side a little bit, giving yourself a massage. Start to widen your knees towards your shoulders, starting to create a little bit more space in your hip sockets. Option to stay here or to come into happy baby, grasping the outer edges of your feet, pulling them down towards your shoulders, towards the ground. Spine nice and long, head relaxed, shoulders relaxed. Again, rocking side to side if that feels good for you today. Starting to wake up the hip joints. Start to release your feet, drawing your knees back in towards your chest and rock yourself up, meeting in tabletop pose. Hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. Starting to find some cat-cow here. We'll do the first round together. So inhale, drop your belly, lift your gaze. Exhale, round your spine, lower your gaze. Then start to connect with your breath, finding some creative movement here. Find what feels good for your body today. Maybe you rock side to side. Maybe you find some hip circles or move front to back. Whatever feels good in your body in this moment. Take 5 breaths here. Come back to a neutral tabletop, spine long, and walk your hands slightly in front of your shoulders tuck your toes and lift your hips up and back into your first downward facing dog. Again, start to find some movements here. Maybe pedaling the bike, walking the dog, moving the hips side to side. Starting to wake yourself up a little bit. Keeping your spine long, your hands firmly planted into the ground. On your inhale, raise your right leg up towards the sky, open your hip, bend your knee, and find 3 hip circles here, drawing your knee towards your chest, up and back around, making these circles as big as possible, finding as much movement as you can. Then re-straighten your leg, draw your knee in towards your nose, stepping your foot forward in between your hands at the top of your mat. Lower your back leg down, coming into crescent low lunge. Chest forward, hips sinking down. On your exhale, send your hips back, straighten your front leg, coming into Ardha Hanumanasana, your half splits. Starting to find a little bit of movement between these 2 poses, following the flow of your breath. Inhale, come into low lunge. Exhale, Ardha Hanumanasana, half splits. Finding your movement, finding your flow. Starting to open up some more in your hips, in your hamstrings. My creativity flows within me. I am energized with movement. The next time you find yourself into crescent low lunge, firm up your legs, draw your legs in towards each other and raise your arms up towards the sky, coming into Anjaneyasana, low lunge. On your exhale, bring your left hand behind you onto your right thigh, left thigh. Reach your right arm up and over for reversed Anjaneyasana. Exhale, plant your hands in between your foot and reach your right arm up towards the sky, coming into a twist. Exhale, plant your hands, step your foot back into plank pose. Lower your knees and come all the way down onto your belly. Plant your hands beside your chest, lift up, baby cobra. Exhale, coming back into downward facing dog. This time, raising your left leg up towards the sky. Bend your knee, open your hip. Finding 3 circles on this side. Drawing your knee in towards your chest and then lifting it back up and around. Re-straighten your leg. Draw your knee towards your nose and step your foot up in between your palms at the top of your mat. Lower your back knee towards the ground, coming into crescent low lunge. Inhale here, exhale here. On your next exhale, straighten your front leg, send your hips back for Ardha Hanumanasana, half splits. Then starting to find movement with your breath. Inhale, coming into low lunge. Exhale, half splits. Option to close down your eyes. Experience your breath as you move. There's no right or wrong way to do this. Next time you find your way into crescent low lunge, ground down through your legs, reach your arms up towards the sky. Maybe gaze up, Anjaneyasana, low lunge. Exhale, plant your right hand behind you, lift your left arm up towards the sky. And exhale, bring your right hand beside you, bringing your left arm up towards the sky, finding your twist. Exhale, plant your hand, step back into plank pose. Maybe keeping your knees lifted this time, coming all the way down to the floor, untucking your toes, lifting up, baby cobra. Exhale, finding your way back into downward facing dog. Notice how you feel now. Do you feel a little bit more open? Inhale, reach your right leg up towards the sky. Exhale, step your foot between your palms at the top of your mat. Plant your left heel down, rise up, Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. Gaze over your fingertips, shoulders over your hips. Inhale, reverse your palm, reverse your warrior. Exhale, come back, Warrior 2. Inhale, plant your forearm to your knee. Bring your arm up and over, extended side angle. Exhale, come back into Warrior 2. Finding this with your own breath. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, Warrior 2. Inhale, extended side angle. Your dancer, warrior flow. Tapping into your own creativity. Option to close down the eyes. Coming back up into Warrior 2. Straighten your front leg, keeping your feet wide. Turn your toes out, heels in. Bring your hands together and finding our way into goddess pose. Sink your hips down, your knees go wide. Activate your glutes to help push your knees out. Spine nice and tall, crown of the head reaching up. Start to lift your right heel off the ground, coming up onto the balls of your toes. Then exhale, plant your heel, raise your left heel off the ground, coming onto your toes. Exhale, lower down. This time, maybe lifting up onto both toes, finding your balance, finding your strength. Exhale, lower down, straighten your legs, reach your arms up towards the sky, star pose, and then shake it out, finding your way to the top of the mat, Tadasana. Inhale, reach your arms up towards the sky. Exhale, swan dive forward, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands. Step back into plank, maybe this time finding your full variation of Chaturanga, coming halfway down. Upward facing dog on your inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. From here, lift your left leg up towards the sky, then step your foot forward in between your hands at the top of your mat. Lower your right heel towards the ground, rising up, Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. Finding your dancing warrior on this side. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, Warrior 2. Inhale, extended side angle. Not worrying about what it looks like, more so how it feels in your body, how it flows. Option to close down your eyes, feel into it, experience your breath. One more time, reverse warrior. Warrior two. Extended side angle. And back to warrior two. Straighten your front leg. Turn your toes out, heels in, coming back into goddess pose. Lowering your hips down, knees out. This time bring your hands to your knees. Bend your right elbow in, look over your left shoulder, finding a twist. Exhale, bend your left shoulder, look over your right. Exhale, come back into center, straighten your legs, turn your toes towards the long edge of your mat and fold forward for wide-legged forward fold. Relax your head, relax your spine. Maybe find a little bit of a sway. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, walk your hands to the front of the mat, stepping back into your flow. Exhale, chaturanga or to the floor. Inhale, baby cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. I am energized with movement. My creativity flows within me. Inhale, reach your right leg up towards the sky. Exhale, bring your right knee to right wrist, finding your pigeon pose, sending your left leg back. Inhale, come up onto your fingertips. Reach your chest forward, gaze up. Exhale, fold forward over your leg, coming onto your forearms or creating a pillow with your hands, holding forward any amount. Finding 10 breaths here. Use arm strength to help lift yourself up out of it, moving slowly. Finding your way back into downward facing dog. Finding any little movements here that feel good to help release this stretch. Noticing how it feels in the right hip compared to the left. Moving to the other side, inhale, reach your left leg up towards the sky, bringing your left knee to left wrist, sending your right leg back. Noticing if you're leaning more to one side or the other. Come up onto your fingertips, reach up. Exhale, walk yourself forward, coming into your pigeon pose. Using arm strength to help lift yourself back up. Finding your way into your final downward facing dog. Making any last movements here that feel good for your body. And when you're ready, dropping your knees to the mat, widening them towards the edges, bringing your big toes together, hips towards your heels, coming into Balasana, child's pose, resting your forehead on the mat. Noticing how your hips feel now compared to the start of the practice. Noticing if any emotions have arisen. Inhale, walk your hands back up. Find your way into a comfortable seat, bringing the soles of your feet together, knees apart. Baddha Konasana, your butterfly pose. Sitting up tall through the spine, reaching your crown of your head towards the sky. Exhale, folding forward any amount. I am energized with movement. Creativity flows within me. Exhale, come back up. Use your hands to guide your knees up, finding your way into a seated forward fold with your legs extended out in front of you, maybe shaking out your knees a little bit, walking your hands forward, relaxing your spine. I'm making this one more of a passive stretch, so letting the back round, palms facing towards the sky, releasing any tension in the low back and the neck. Use arm strength to lift yourself back up. Bend your right knee in towards your chest and cross your foot over your thigh. Sitting tall, reach your left arm up towards the sky. Exhale, hug your knee in towards your chest. Send your right arm back behind you, finding a seated twist. Inhale, grow tall, lift your crown towards the sky. Exhale, twist a little deeper, gaze over your right shoulder. Exhale, release, sending your right leg back out in front of you, maybe shaking out your legs. Bending your left knee towards you, crossing it over your right thigh. Lifting your right arm up towards the sky, growing tall. Exhale, hugging yourself, bringing your left hand behind you, finding your seated twist on the second side. Drawing your navel in, gaze over your left shoulder. Release your twist and find your way onto your back, drawing your knees in towards your chest, giving yourself a hug. For this next pose, we'll be coming into a variation of legs up the wall. So if you have a wall near you, feel free to use it. Otherwise, stay here on your mat with me, lifting the soles of your feet up towards the sky. Option to keep a generous bend in your legs, dropping your arms down beside you. Maybe closing down the eyes. Letting your legs get heavy. Option to stay here as your final resting pose. Otherwise, start to bend your knees and find your way into Savasana, taking up space on your mat. Maybe bringing your palms to your hips, to your pelvis, bringing awareness back to the sacral chakra. Breathing into this area. Truly letting today's practice integrate into the body. Softening or closing down the eyes. I'll call you back when it's time. And to bring awareness back to your breath. Maybe finding some movement in your fingers and your toes. Or feeling your wrists and your ankles. Maybe reaching your arms up overhead, finding a big good morning stretch. And when you're ready, turning towards one side of your mat, coming into a fetal position. Finding a few breaths here. And using arm strength to push yourself back up into a comfortable seat. Drawing your hands towards heart center. Thank you for joining me for today's practice. Let's close by inhaling through the nose, exhaling with a sigh. Namaste. Thank you for joining me today. If you like today's practice, please give it a thumbs up and comment what you thought and subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Namaste.